Well, Victor, there I think hiyo story hiyo barua yenye ulipata bado inakukanganya miaka na miaka after. That's why maybe unafanya kitu inaitwa jump starting na false start kwa mbio.
Which part?
There are people who are called, when you're racing, those people who've ran, if you've participated in a race, is that time when you're told on your marks, get set, then either you use that I don't know what it's called, they clap it together or they shoot in the air.
They call it a clap or something.
Yeah. There are people who are ever anxious. So even when we're doing the countdown, get set, they're gone. That's a false start. Even though not hapo, but we understand it's because of that particular letter from Adongo, the dancer. And before we finished off the morning session, the first session, I reminded you about dancers and even what the Holy Book has said about dancers, and I don't want to quote, but when David was coming back from, should I continue or do I sound like a CRE teacher? When David was coming from a battle. No, we will not go there. My CRE lesson is over.
All right.
Victor, are you ready? Are you calm? Can we do a whoosah moment? Breathe in.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Out. Are you breathing? I'm not seeing you breathe. Breathe in.
I breathe on silent mode.
No. I'm saying breathe in. Breathe in, Victor. Traka hapa. How do you breathe? Breathe in. Out. Breathe in again.
Yes.
Out. We are good to go. To you, Victor.
Allah. All right, fine. Okay. We have 10 minutes to go, and I think at this particular point, Doreen, what do you have on your nose paper there?
Anyway, let's get serious. It's that serious segment. So just a quick look on the front page of the People's Daily.
Right.
Perhaps you can begin with Matters Health. And now the ministry is saying brace for COVID fifth wave. That is what the officials are now warning. And this is counties in Western Kenya and Nyanza whose residents have now snubbed calls to be vaccinated. They have been singled out as areas likely to be affected by the new spike in infections. And just according to this particular report, is that this is expected in the month of November. And this is why these two areas in the country, or rather counties in the western part and Nyanza part of the country, are being warned and continue to being urged to be vaccinated. And again, that's why we also saw in areas such as Bungoma as well as different counties, they are just trying to step up and trying to see how best they can at least hit the target and hit the mark, because then again, like I keep mentioning, is that 10 million mark needs to be adhered to, at least also for proper opening of the country there. Again, still on Matters Health, malaria vaccine breakthrough. This is after 30 years, as the WHO has endorsed the first ever malaria vaccine for children with moderate to high malaria transmission, and more than 10,000 lives will be saved yearly. Speaking of 10,000 lives being saved yearly, again, also according to WHO, we already know that in a year, about 500,000 people die just because of malaria, and a bigger chunk or majority of that number is formed by children there. So this is why there's that introduction of that new vaccine, which is expected to at least curb the number of deaths as a result of malaria. And also, Oka leaders to meet Central Kenya tycoons, where discussions come a week after influential business people hosted ODM leader in Nairobi hotel. And speaking of ODM leader Raila Odinga there, he takes word to Ruto doorstep, and also speaking to the various radio stations there, he ruled out the possibility of working with DP because the latter has already rolled out his State House campaign. So that is how the front page of the People's Daily looks like this morning. Not that busy, but in a nutshell, that's how it looks like.
It seems all the dailies captured more or less the same stories, with that interview of the former premier and the leader of ODM. They're taking center stage, as well as, the sentencing of Tom Mboya at the Milimani Courts Law Court after shooting William Osewe there. But what is sad is that, well, he was getting justice, so to speak. Osewe now has to deal with the bankers who have already put up his 330 million property up for auction of a debt. Talking about what is happening in matters of politics, is that Oka chiefs are to meet the Mount Kenya Foundation. That is today. and they will deliberate on Uhuru's succession and other issues, as well as, the talks will also focus on how to move the country forward. Remember, we saw ODM leader Raila Odinga there meeting with the Mount Kenya Foundation that is made up of, prominent businessmen here and there, and also veteran politicians there. And so much was said from that particular meeting, where Raila continued to say that he will not be targeting wealth and businesses owned by the Mount Kenya as previously alleged in previous campaigns. Remember, he has been at it trying to get the presidential seat there at least 5 times in Kenya's history. Will this be the time for Raila Odinga? That's a question that is lingering in a majority of Kenyans' minds as we do a run-up towards the general election in August 2022. Just a quick reminder that if you're not a registered voter, you need to get yourself registered. Remember, this is a 30-day long process there. IBC seeking to recruit an extra, or rather more voters. Target number is 6 million. Right? So that is just a sneak peek of what we have on the front page of the Standard this morning, including that story that you can also find on our website, the issue about Kenya's debt ceiling there. We are almost at the debt ceiling that was already approved in the past, that is 9 trillion shillings. We are really staring at the ceiling debt, and there's been talk that to continue, supporting government's development agenda, repaying our loans and such, we need to increase the debt ceiling. And there's been talk of taking it way up to 11 or 12 trillion shillings. So the current public outstanding debt stands at 7.6 trillion shillings as at June 2021. Our maximum ceiling of debt is at 9 trillion. Now that's where maybe rubber hits the road at this point. We are staring at tough times there, with the growth in public debt attributed to disbursements of new loans to the government, the various development factors, and additional borrowings from the domestic market. This is according to the Auditor General there, Nancy Gadhugo. In 2019, Parliament voted to expand the debt ceiling cap of 9 trillion shillings to allow National Treasury take up more loans, including a second 109 billion shillings euro bond that was floated last year. So early this year, we had Ukur Yatani saying that the government will soon have to expand the borrowing limit if it is to fund operations and meet its obligations. Remember, we are just months away from the general elections 2022, and the government agenda, the Big Four agenda, had been given such timelines. Have we achieved this? Are these projects going to be carried on into the next government? Those are questions that we need to continue asking ourselves. Or will these projects that had been envisioned under the Big Four agenda and given timelines of 2022, just die or go with the wind? To you guys.
Now, let me take you back to the Daily Nation, and let's look at this particular story here. Has been featured on the front page concerning state officers that have offshore accounts. And as it has emerged, there are over 400 state officers who hold foreign accounts. And this is coming as the nation still anxiously awaits President Uhuru Kenyatta's comprehensive statement in regards to his family's wealth being mentioned in this 12 million file document that was leaked by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. Now, it has emerged that there are so many, at least 400 that have been indicated on this particular piece, 400 state or public officers that hold foreign accounts. And as per the Constitution, state officers shall not maintain a bank account outside Kenya. The 12th Parliament diluted the principle when it enacted some exemptions within the Constitution. Now, the exemptions that came in state that the law allows state officers to operate such accounts under stipulated conditions in the Act, including seeking clearance from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Okay, now we go to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, what they have to say about this. They say that they have granted at least 453 officers approval to own and operate such accounts between the periods of 2012 up until 2017. And one of the requirements and conditions that they need to fulfill in order to keep maintaining these offshore accounts is that they are to submit an annual report of their banking transactions not later than the 31st of January of the succeeding year. Okay? But as per what EACC boss has had to say, of course, in light with the recent conversation, they are currently investigating 58 officers who, despite getting the approval, they have failed to furnish the commission with their annual bank statements. And when it comes back to, you know, the whole conversation around the president's family with 3.3 billion Kenya shillings in offshore accounts, what they had to say is that most of the accounts that are held by the Kenyatta's family were opened before the 2010 Constitution, and the Integrity Act was passed 2 years later. All right, so tuendelee kungoja the president's comprehensive statement in regards to this Pandora's paper and what he has to say moving forward. So I think we bring this segment to a close.
Yeah.
Yes.
But before then, quickly on politics, a quick update here. Ruto to tour Laikipia County on Saturday. That is according to his itinerary. Deputy President William Ruto is expected in Laikipia County on Saturday for a one-day visit. Speaking, he said that Laikipia West MP Patrick Moiru and area Senator John Kinyua and former Laikipia West MP are coordinators of the event. That is on Saturday. And again, Raila to storm Ruto backyard next week in 2022 vote hunt. He says that there is no problem with any leader from the region and his differences with the DP are political. So the former Prime Minister has planned a series of activities to market the Azimio La Umoja campaign. Raila will make his first stop in Turkana, where he's expected to meet ODM delegates and address residents. He will then head to Eldoret to meet party delegates from West Pokot, Uasin Gishu, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Nandi counties. The Azimio La Umoja brigade will thereafter head to Nakuru for similar meetings and will be joined by delegates from Kericho and Bomet. According to ODM leader Raila Odinga, who spoke to FM stations that is broadcasting in Kalenjin language, he said that he plans to conclude the tours by the end of October. I think we also have to end at the end. It's exactly 8.
Yes.
Yes. All right, we're taking a break. We'll be right back after this.